it's just great to be back here. 25 years. Every year it seems to come faster and faster. I haven't been here all 25 years, but maybe 20.
Yeah.
So it's just great to be back again. You know, I was here when it used to be done on the old playing fields, and you know, since it came up here, it's even better. And you know, sure, it's like daytime, isn't it?
It is.
And the excitement's great. The crowds are terrific, and it's just good to be back again.
It's getting bigger and bigger, isn't it?
Bigger and bigger, man. I've been doing this since 1999.
Wow.
And that was at the old Nationals, where Summersfield Academy is now.
Wow.
Yeah, man, it was a little different then. But hey, it's the same idea, right?
I know.
A little bit more corporation, a little less action, but it's a little fun to action.
Yes. And I think that was the word. It seems as though this Rugby Classic, if you want to paint a picture, it's just that pebble that has rolled down the mountain and just gathered more and more momentum.
For 25 years.
For 25 years of momentum. And look what it's snowballed into. Could you have ever imagined 25 years ago it would be this fantastic?
No, because 25 years ago it was a single game on Easter Sunday at Nationals, the old Nationals, and that was it. And it just grew over time, and now it's an international event, and it's pretty much like the World Masters of Rugby. So all these guys are ex-internationals. It's wonderful to see them. It's great for Bermuda. It's not raining.
It's really awesome. It's so fantastic. I've seen and spoken to a lot of people who said this is their first Rugby Classic. You do have a lot of repeats, but just the spreading to new new fans and just building a broader fan base. America, as we know, is not a nation that's has a long history with rugby.
Right.
But they've been influenced, and the influence is growing.
Well, I remember the first year the American team came, and the established rugby playing nations used to come out here. It was a relaxed week of competition. They were playing against guys they used to play against in full internationals. And the American team arrived, young, fit, physical, boom, contact, And the guys are going, whoa, okay, these guys are serious. And I think in a way, although the American team and the Canadian team don't have the finesse and the technique, they make up for it with just commitment.
And we're moments away from the start here, Chris.
France really hit the fire over the last couple of years. They also expected.
Here we go.
Cedric Rolson is starting for the French at Flyhaven. Got a nice deep kick-off. Well taken.
Rugby Classic.
As the RGs run it out of their 22.
Argentina, the defending champions here in the first opening game. Wishing them luck. As you see, we have
but the Argentinians spreading it wide, and they had the first penalty of the evening. The French coming in from the side. And an early opportunity to clear the lines for a little grubber.
Oh boy.
Out it. Almost hits us up in the commentary box.
Close to the sports microphones here.
So the first line out of the game for the Argentinians. And Mariano Bosch throws it in. So the Argentinians setting up another phase. French coming in from the side again, and sure enough, that's a penalty. Testing the referee's patience early with two identical infringements. And out it goes again. So we'll a bit of deja vu as Mariano Bosch will throw it in again, right in front of us.
Suggested to who? No, I've suggested that.
It's the Argentinian number 2 there. A short on line out, so you've got, that's nowhere near straight. The referee's playing an advantage to the French. No advantage coming, so that will be a scrum in 15 to the French. And the French, their first opportunity to have the ball in hand.
Here we go with the scrum.
Yeah, now in real rugby that would be a real physical battle, but as it's vets rugby, there's a little bit of leeway and it's uncontested. Taken well into midfield by the French number 12, Gregory Toutard, and the French rumble forward. And here they go, reverting to their natural game, getting it wide, but that's a little bit of a loose pass.
Yeah, trying to spread it out to the left over there, but away with the pass.
So that was a knock-on by the French as they try to catch that loose pass. So the first scrum for the Argentinians. And they've gone blind. And it comes to one of their big fellows.
Big number 5.
Yeah, that's Remus Alvarez, and he is one of the star players for them as well tonight. You'll see him out. He's a great ball carrier.
Whistle goes. Oh yeah, it's getting a little heated out there.
Yep, and Serge Betson right in the middle of that. What a surprise. But in fact, he looks like he's playing the peacemaker right there, the French captain, number 20. Having a quick word with the ref. Ref hoping that his French is good enough to explain what's going on. Frenchman looks mystified. It's amazing how some of these big boys look so innocent when they've been penalised. They've opted for a scrum. Leonardo Labrocco, number 9, gave the indication to the referee that he wanted a scrum. The scrum, of course, ties in all the big boys, so it opens up the field to some of the speedier players, and they've gone blind. And they've made some good ground there.
Yep, good movement on that right side.
Out it comes to Alvarez. It's a little untidy over there, but we've got Frenchmen coming in. And it's another scrum, but this time it goes to the French. There's a slight knock-on. Possibly accidental offside. They've awarded a scrum. Someone got in front of the ball carrier. Time is off for a moment. There's an injury over there. One of these 35-year-olds has realised that his hamstrings aren't quite as long as they used to be. Oh, in fact, it might be just for tying a shoelace. I take that back. So it'll be a French scrum just outside the 22, the French 22. Classic games are only half an hour each way. Normally it's 40 minutes each way, a regular rugby game. So they do go easy on the old-timers. It's a solid French scrum, as you'd expect, uncontested. And here comes the big boot, and there's that northwest wind behind it.
Oh! Misjudged that with the wind.
Absolutely, and that's Santiago van der Goot. Now, Santiago van der Goot last year, he was one of these star players, and largely responsible for winning that cup, but he misjudged the wind, and ended up with a ball in his face. And I'm joined up here by Keith Hodgkins and the BRFU chairman.
Yeah, good evening, Chris. This typical north breeze playing havoc with the passing at the moment.
Yeah, 1 or 2 loose passes, but plenty of help with that kick, as Santiago van der Goot found out when it hit him in his face.
Good clean ball there. Out wide to the big number 4. Oh, he's making some good yards there.
Yeah, Juan Camaro.
Okay.
Oh,
good
it's a
dummy.
lovely
He's
dummy.
through. It's going to be our first try for the evening.
Leonardo Labrocco.
5 points to 0 to the Argentinians under the post.
He's one of the smallest guys on the field, height-wise, but if you look at his girth, he's pretty solid. Yep, look at that. A fine figure of a man.
Yeah, well, that was a bit of a broken play, and he just kind of threw a dummy and backed into the defender and just went straight through. It should be a formality to get this 2 points.
Yeah, for a player like Tottocini, that's another 2 in the bag for him.
Okay, defending champions up by 7 points to nothing.
Yeah, an excellent start. 11 minutes in.
And against the Breeze as well. They've kept the ball in hand really well. Haven't put the ball to boot that much, and kept a lot of the possession.
Yeah, I think they've got to be pretty happy. I mean, the French had a nice little rumble into their into the Argentinian 22, but the ball got turned over, and Argentinians have made use of some penalties going their way.
That's right. This referee is being very particular at the breakdown, making sure people come from the back foot.
So their fly half, Cedric Rolson, kicks off pretty deep. Not a massive chase after it, but
Argentinians setting up in midfield just outside the 22. Again, they got this. Here we go, little chip through, little grubber.
Some nice width to the ball there. Bring it back to the big boys.
That's a good ruck, using his feet. That was fine, nothing wrong with that.
Out it goes, this Comba. Nice, oh, he's done well, but he's run out of real estate.
Yeah, that was a good play there. He just went through the gap and tried to offload to the outside center. Referee not allowing the quick one there because the assistant ref had his hand out marking the line.
It's nice to see that they're looking for a little bit of enterprise there. They're prepared to throw it around. Very nicely taken at the front of the line out there.
They got a maul.
Bracco just directing traffic there at number 9.
It looks like it's going to be turned over there. That maul's gone to ground. If it doesn't come out, it should be French ball. Yeah, there we are.
There you go. You must be a referee, Keith.
Yeah. So I claim.
Well, yeah, you blow the whistle. I don't know whether I've called you a referee.
Others will debate.
Only on a Saturday, Keith, do I debate that.
Yeah, we have a lot of good referees now in Bermuda, so I'm fortunate enough to retire for a little bit and go back and try and play a bit of rugby.
Okay, at the back of this scrum here, number 8 for France. There's a guy called Francis Entermac. He happens to be the sibling, the brother of a very famous French rugby player, Emile Entermac, who has been here before as a manager. So this is his brother coming down. Heard it's a good place to come, and obviously got some skills, some talent himself.
Some good pressure there by the Argentinian back line.
That's been turned over.
Yep. Little kick over the top. Big second row sitting there, hanging out. Like Serge Benson.
Oh,
now they got numbers.
Like it.
Oh, just missed the pass.
Loose pass, but
Here
the Argentinians have pounced on this. Oh, there's the man I was just talking about. Francis Entermac comes back and saves the day there.
Yeah, off your feet, off the feet of the breakdown there, Argentinian. Have to retire 10 yards. Quick ball by Serge Benson.
Yeah, you can expect Serge Benson to be everywhere where the ball is tonight, I think.
Not 10. They won't be able to take the quick one this time. They need to retire 10 yards.
Serge, number 20 there, just coming into view in his shot. He is the class act of this French team, no doubt about it.
Yeah, so we're just coming up to the halfway point of the first half. 15 minutes and 40 seconds to go. That's a great kick.
Rolson's done well, and he's used that northeast wind to put it down into that corner very well.
It's a good 45-meter kick there.
Let's see if the French pack is strong enough to rumble over from there.
Yeah, they look like they have a pretty sizable pack. It's one of their strengths, forwards rugby for the French team. There we go. Ball thrown to the back, a little bit overthrown, turned over. There's space there in the centers.
Oh, it's good speed.
They've got numbers out wide if he can shift this ball. Oh, just caught, good tackle. Should have passed that maybe a little bit earlier.
Great speed by Lucas Borges, though. It's a little untidy.
Yeah,
and
a little disorganized there. Good counter-rucking by the Argentinian team.
And it's a penalty.
Yeah, and in from the side. That was a good counter-ruck, a lot of pressure there.
Now, Lucas Borg is a little fact for you. Lucas Borg is the number 14 for Argentina. He debuted quite some time ago now for Argentina, playing against Paraguay.
Oh, wow.
They beat Paraguay on that occasion 144-0. Now, the reason I mention this is because the Bermuda national team has recently gone down to Paraguay as part of its World Cup campaign, and unfortunately, we came up against a strong Paraguay team, and they were a better team on the day, no doubt about it. But score was
it was about 30 points to 10, wasn't it?
30 points to 10. I should know. I played in it, but it's and you were there too, Keith. So you should know too.
We're trying to forget, really. We thought we had a good chance to win that game.
But it does show the gulf in difference. If they're getting beaten 144-0. Yeah. And they're beating us.
Here we go. Argentina's got some space. It's a bit of a high tackle there. There's an advantage being played by the referee. So he's got a free shot here for the Argentinian team. I believe he's still playing advantage. It's 2-on-3 there. Oh, that's a good chip. No, he's going to come back for the high tackle.
Yeah, I don't know whether it was that great a kick. It's Juan Pablo Aguilera. He's a flanker, and that's probably a reason for why forwards don't kick.
Yeah, back to the Paraguay game. I think back then the Paraguay team was probably not as strong as the one we played, because 144 points is a pretty significant scoreline. I'm not sure how you can put that many points up in a 80-minute period of rugby.
Yeah, thankfully I've never been on the end of something like that, but clearly a class apart on that day. And I'd imagine that as a winger, Lucas actually scored quite a few tries on that,
yeah, I would assume.
So they're just having a little chat, deciding what they should do, whether they should kick it or run it.
Yeah, there's a running clock here. They don't stop for injuries, really. So I'm not sure. They must be checking numbers.
And there's no hard and fast rule, but it's a sort of almost a gentleman's agreement. You don't really kick for penalties in the classic rugby, do you?
That's right. The spectators want to see running rugby. They don't want to see people knocking up 3 points at a time.
So Lobe picks up at the 8.
A little pop ball to the center coming in.
Yeah, well marked though, well met.
Not wide, there's not much room there.
Alvarez, big unit, gets it back to his scrum half.
There he goes, another chip and chase.
Little
well covered.
Comba's there, cleans it up. Not huge distance on that.
But yeah, like I said before, the Argentinian team are really maintaining a lot of possession, playing very simple rugby. Yeah, thank you for the cold beverage. It's got a good crowd out tonight for Saturday.
Oh, it's a nicely well-worked move. And the referee's giving it. Doesn't see anything wrong with it, despite Serge Betson's feelings that the ball probably didn't go 5.
Yeah,
that's Juan Camero, number 4 there.
Do they show a replay of that, Chris, or?
I'm not sure if you have a cameraman over in that corner, but if we can get a replay of that little score. It happened so quickly off the line out.
Yeah, I believe it was a quick ball to the front. If the referee was positioned at the back, the assistants aren't mic'd up, so they can't really call those things in. So take advantage, and French should have been paying attention.
Yep, and Tottocini lining up the kick to add the extras.
Yeah, nice strike earlier. There you go. There's another one, another good kick.
That is a good kick from out wide.
Well, it looks like Argentina brought another good team this year. Be up 14-0 against France is quite an achievement. They had a good game today internationally. That's right. They beat Wales.
They certainly did, and they really put Wales in their place. And that was a game in Wales. So I'm pretty sure the Argentinians were somewhere in some establishment somewhere watching that game, cheering on their colleagues back home.
There we go.
Well, in Wales, I should say.
It's another good take, another good clean, and they're all staying on their feet.
Oh, a big handoff.
He's a big, strong lad, that Argentinian. They're all off their feet there, so there's a penalty against the French. That's one of the things that the referees internationally are starting to really pick up on, especially in the Premiership. If you've been watching it lately, they want the players staying up on their feet at all those breakdowns.
Yeah, Ntamack's the last man up for the French, shaking his head.
Yeah.
They always shake their head when they get penalised.
Wow.
Who, me, ref?
That's right. The Argentinian national team is now part of the four nation? No, what is it?
It's called the Championship now. It's got a new name. It used to be the Tri-Nations, but they weren't included, obviously. But now it's 4 teams. They play the big 3 Southern Hemisphere teams, and it can only do their game good.
And that's, I think, evident from the win over Wales.
Lobe just...
That's a great pick and go from the back of the scrum. They made about 10 yards off of that. Nice step inside. Tackler must roll away from that. Yeah, it's a bit another messy breakdown. There's a penalty there. In from the side by Argentina.
Yeah, it's a nice little run by Stortoni, the number 12 there. Now, in typical French fashion, the number 28 comes in. We don't know who the number 28 is.
Is he not on the list? Okay. All right, moving it wide. Oh, that's a good catch. Good take. There we go. That's a good kick, just over the top. There we go. What are they going to do here? They're matched up pretty well.
Yeah, number 22 is Julien Laharage, and he's a French international. He's got 22 caps for his country.
Offside there, not back foot.
Former Perpignan player, very experienced.
But again, that was a good kick and chase by the Argentinians. They're not giving this French team any space whatsoever. That's another brilliant kick. Again, that's made another 40 yards or so. But let's see what they can do here. Last time they weren't able to do much with it. They've had 3 opportunities, I think, into the 22 of the Argentinian team.
Yeah, they've been turned over a couple of times just as they've been applying the pressure. There's been a loose pass or a ripped ball out of possession, and the Argentinians, despite having the wind in their face, have counterattacked well.
Yeah, you can see by the assistant's flag. I mean, it's really breezy right now. It must be a good 20-25 knots. It's a feature of this North Field at the National Sports Center.
It's stolen again, just as the French were applying that pressure.
So everyone gone to ground. He's giving the ball to the French team, saying they were going forward. It was, again, stolen. I mean, those lineouts are pretty critical. But again, throwing a ball against a 20-mile-an-hour wind is not an easy achievement.
No. The hookers in local rugby make it look pretty difficult even when there isn't a wind.
That's true. We won't mention any names, Tank and others.
Absolutely. Mr. Greenslade and Mr. Williams.
Yeah.
And Ntamack, no space to go there, and thrown into touch. They're taking a quick one.
That's a great play, because this is the only way to relieve pressure, because the lineout wasn't going to help them. He's got numbers. Ball back inside. Oh, just knocked on. So advantage to France for the knock on.
I think they have it.
Penalty there. Argentina holding the ball on the ground. No, that was unfortunate for Argentina. Very, very smart play to move that ball quickly from the quick line out, because as you know, with this wind, the kicking is not really going to do you any favors.
Yeah, it was slick hands as well, getting out wide, but just forced that last pass and ball went to ground.
Yeah, and I guess that's the question. Did he really need to pass that, or should he just gone to ground, waited for support?
It's one of those hero zero ones. If he passes it and gives it in, and the guy runs 60 yards, then great. So French scrum on the edge of the Argentinian 22. Ntamack steps off from number 8.
That's a strong run.
Presents it nicely. Oh, foot's got in the way there.
Now, it'd be interesting here because Argentina hasn't given away too many penalties this game. And I would say it's penalties probably 10-5 count to France. So he's having a word with Argentina. They infringe in a very critical area. And when you get inside the 22 and you come over the top and kill that ball, the refs get a little more upset. Look for maybe the yellow card.
Yeah, they're deliberately slowing the ball down in a scoring situation. So
yeah, and again, they're not going to take the 3 points. They're going to go for the scrum, try to get the try. The medical staff sprints on and sprints off really quickly.
Yep. Well, they need to go for the try. I mean, these are only half-hour halves, and they're down 14-0.
There's 3 minutes and 53 seconds to go.
Entomac jogs off. He obviously took a bump there. He's been replaced. Here comes the big wing. Oh, it's a nice little move, but it's well met, well defended.
Again, it's slow ball. It's not really clean. Argentina had time to regroup. And that's really slow ball at the back of the ruck there.
Yeah.
The backs don't look very organized for France either. They're looking to shift it right. Now he just talked to them, and unfortunately this is a shame. They're going to go down to 14 men. And during that period, I think it's a 5-minute sin bin period, they will not be allowed to substitute any players.
Yeah, I think your point earlier about the fact that, to be honest, it's been the French who've been infringing more than the Argentinians. It's a bit harsh on the Argentinians, but as you say, perhaps it's to do with the position on the field.
Twice in front of the post, and it's new in the referee's mind. So, and I'm sure the referee was telling them, hands out, leave the ball alone, and he lost his patience.
I think I got 3 sorted out now. So
Well, did he say it in French and Spanish? That's what I want to know.
No manos. Is that right? We actually learned a bit of Spanish in the Paraguay game. Okay, they have some numbers here. They should have an overlap. Scrum half keeps. Doesn't seem to be any real set game plan with the French team at the moment. You know, just playing off the cuff rugby.
Yeah, I think Cedric Rolson, number 15, who just threw that loose pass, needs to get a grip of this. But here we go.
Pace. The 2 wingers going. Looks like the Argentinians got a little bit of pace on him. Oh, it's a good pickup by the French player. But now he's got to release that ball, and the French are back to help. That was great play. Good defensive play.
Yeah, that's Frank Comber. I mentioned him earlier before the game. He's one of their star players. He's been here quite a few times, and seasoned player. Playing out of position though. He's a centre normally.
But like we were saying just before that, they didn't look like they had any structure in the backs. They lost the ball, dropped the ball in the back line, and Argentina kicked it ahead about 60 yards. Relieved all that pressure. And it seems that the Argentinians may have turned this ball. Yes, they have. They want to just keep it in hand. They're down a man. They got 1:13 to go before the halftime whistle. Good ruck there.
Yep, scrum half finally arrives, digging it out.
Number 8. It seems like the number 8's playing fly half today. Here, they've got numbers.
Oh, he should have given it earlier, but and that's a miscommunication there. He's picked it up and done well.
Yeah, he definitely had overlap there. It's on the near sideline. Argentina regrouping. Good dummy take out the referee.
This is Fernandez Lopez. He's enjoying himself out there, number 8 for Argentina.
Yeah, the ref was pretty quick on his feet to get out of the way of that lump.
Yeah, I'd be getting out of the way too. And Van der Goet's kick is charged down.
Oh, Argentina are really throwing this ball around. This is a lot of fun to watch.
Oh, nicely done.
Yes.
Oh, poor pass.
Unfortunate with the pass.
And that will be a scrum to
18 seconds to go.
I would have said that was a pretty obvious scrum, but the referee decided that he didn't see that one. Might have just about time. We'll see.
I think is he going to play the line out? Let's see here. It was a little unstructured play there, but it was quite exciting for the spectators tonight.
Yeah, Ignacio Fernandez Lobby, number 8 for Argentina, is having a storming game, and we expect that. I mean, he's clearly one of the star players for Argentina.
Are you guys going to interview somebody? You want to come back in? Okay.
So 14-0 at the half. As the French come in, get their drinks, have a little chat. What's been going wrong and in their games? Quite a bit, unfortunately, for the French. Not converting the pressure into points.
Exactly, and you know, defending champion, and seems like the luck rolls with the champions. But France have not been outplayed. They just need to capitalize on getting it over the line.
Absolutely. I mean, you're right, Mike. They've been applying pressure. They've had the ball in the Argentinian 22, but at key moments they've given away the ball, or they've given away penalties, and that's really hurt them. And to be honest, Mike, with the win now behind the Argentinians, I can't see the French coming back at them.
Another good point, Chris. Yeah, it's like a double whammy here. I mean, you're trailing 14-0, and now the opposing team has the wind at their back.
Yeah. The only thing that might happen is that, you know, they'll revert to their natural game, which is to throw the ball around. The French, this is, and you know, you could, you know, I don't see them coming back, but then again, you can never write off the French.
Right. I've been trying to secure 1 or 2 interviews with some of the coaches, and I'm just waiting for them to arrive, and maybe we can just get some insight from some of the officials, how they feel about the tournament this year, etc. So, but the crowd, it's a good crowd here, Chris. I mean, it has swelled a little bit since earlier, and it's rather breezy.
Yeah, well, it's unusual for the Classics to actually begin on a Saturday. Normally the Classic starts on a Sunday, but with a national holiday, of course, being one of the factors for it. But you know, Saturday night should be a good crowd, and I think the tents are pretty full. So certainly see a lot of the rugby crowd. But of course, the Classic brings out people who don't normally come and watch rugby. They're enjoying the atmosphere, enjoying the event, as they have been for 25 years.
Socializing.
That's the word, Mike. That's the word.
Socializing. And yes, 25th anniversary. And it started humble beginnings way down there at National Sports Center. And those were some really intense times, because we can remember how you had to go through a little, like a tunnel area. You had to cross everybody to get round the corner.
Well, yeah, I mean, players and spectators alike. We weren't spoiled like we are up here with a big stadium and a huge field. The old Nationals was a pretty cramped, confined space, but it did help with the atmosphere. The atmosphere was rocking at times. So
exactly.
You know.
All right, so we still have 30 minutes to go in this opening match, where it is now Argentina 14-0 over France at the half.
It's very nice to see you, Governor. How are you enjoying the opening night of this wonderful festival?
It is fantastic. Coming from Scotland, having been brought up in New Zealand, having just had another 4 years in New Zealand, my wife's half Irish. We followed rugby around the world. It's great fun.
Wonderful. So your timing is impeccable.
My timing is impeccable. I'm meeting some of these great heroes. I just had 10 minutes talking to Willie John McBride, which is just fantastic.
I know. I'm here with some South African sports fans. We're at the 2012 Rugby Classic, and we're having a great time. The atmosphere is fantastic.
It is. Oh yeah, it's been a great night. I'm looking forward to the South Africa game.
Yep, we're in the police rugby team tent, and it's a great night, and we're the only team dressing up this crazy, so it's fun.
Well, I tell you what, those Halloween costumes are too good to wear just once a year. Here, this is what we call the Rugby Nation. It's the behind the scenes of what's going on at the 2012 Rugby Classic. We're going to be bringing you many more clips and many more sound bites, so you just stay tuned for a whole lot of action and a whole lot of fun. Ladies, enjoy the Classic, and us all wave the camera goodbye.
Cheers.
Thank you, guys.